Welcome to In the Art Studio. Here we take a behind-the-scenes look at what goes on here at Jack Fleming Artistry. Quick shop van update. Got it back from the shop last week. My buddy Richard did valve work on it. Turns out that the valves were pretty bad on it. He said he pulled the valve covers off and oil went all over the place. It was gummed up with stuff. Got that all cleaned up. We're not smoking anymore. Running better, making a little bit better power. After I picked it up from my buddy's shop last week, I drove over a speed bump and apparently that messed up the muffler. Turns out that the muffler inside was completely rusted out, so just that little bit of jostle from going over a speed bump was enough to break all of the, what are they called, ballasts or baffles inside of it loose, and it started losing power on the way home. By the time I got to the shop the next day, my buddy Steve said it best, I think. He said it sounded like a little guy had a hammer inside of the muffler and was trying to beat his way out. So it goes to the shop, another shop this week for new muffler, exhaust work, of course. One other thing on it, I finally washed it. First time I washed it since I got it. A little over a week. Looks a little bit better. It was pretty dirty. Probably hadn't been washed in years. So we're moving along a little bit. Let's go see what else happened this past week in the shop. Quick run through here. I got the variegated gold leaf Wicked Thumb tanks done last week, so that means all of these are ready to be boxed up and shipped out this week. Got these license plates recolored. I learned a lesson. 1930 license plates in Texas are blue on yellow, not black on yellow like I had been told and like I was asked to paint these originally. They had to be repainted. So it was, looking stuff up, doing research, got those done, so those are ready to go out this week. Another cool project that's almost finished. I've got a customer that's building what she's saying it's a rat rod Carmen Gia that she's building. She's headed towards that kind of direction. But to go with it, I started this helmet for her. Got some Volkswagen flying symbol, I guess, there. Pinstriping on top. She wanted this butterfly skull design. Kind of improvised from something she gave me and turned it into a pinstriping design. And then we've also made, and I've got to clean this up, but this goes with the car. She's calling it Bones, so I figured I'd show you guys this way. It's really hard to photograph. It's almost easier to video here with all that reflection and stuff. And I don't know if you can see up close. I did some some lines on the inside of the letters, a little bit of drop shadow. So this stuff goes out this week too. She's actually bringing the car in this week. We'll be doing a bunch of striping and stuff on it. I'll try to take some video footage of that I can show you guys next week. Alright, so for other things that I got finished last week, I had a bike come in on Saturday, which was really cool. We've been talking about it for months. A kid that brought it in, really nice guy. Black bike. We put some really nice bright colored pinstriping on it. That's what he wanted. I thought it turned out really good. I actually had people send me pictures later that day of where he took it to a car show and they're like, hey, did you do this bike? So that was kind of neat. I also had somebody donate to the panel jam that we're doing next year, that we did this year, the one at Autorama in Dallas. They donated some cabinet doors, so that's going to be really cool for us to paint on. Probably stain some of those up at some point in time, but that way the artists that show up next year will have something a little bit different than what we've had in the past that we can pinstripe on, auction it off, and then again that money goes to charity, so that's really cool. Other than that, it was kind of a weird week. I got some computer work done for the next t-shirt design that I have coming up, and then I also worked on my calendar schedule post picture thing that I make for what shows I'm going to for the fall, winter. Got that done. It's weird for me because it feels like I'm so used to doing studio type stuff, like drawing and painting, physical stuff. When I do things on the computer, I feel like I'm not being productive. And I know I need to get over that because it is productive. The other thing that was productive last week that made me feel unproductive was doing more work on the van. I had to do a bunch of electrical work and stuff. Me and my friend Steve that I share the shop with here, chasing the electrical gremlins in the headlights and stuff. It's part of the business. It's something that I need, to be able to work out of for doing the car shows and stuff like that, carrying things to those, stuff for the shop and stuff here. So it's part of it. I'm building that as part of the business. So I got to keep in mind that these things that aren't painting and drawing are still work. They're still part of what's going on here. I still got things accomplished. It was a little slower in the shop last week because I had kids and stuff in while my wife was taking care of her parents who were sick. And that's another big part of it too. As an artist, having your own art studio, working for yourself, it's awesome. There's a lot of freedoms, and sometimes it feels like those freedoms, I guess, pull you away from the work that you're trying to get done. But you got to kind of step back and think. And for me, it's like, why do I work for myself? So I can have more time for my kids is a big part of it. So I can have time to help my wife. So I can have time to be able to take care of family things when they arise. So a lot of that happened for me last week. Hopefully we're kind of out of a bunch of that for this week. Whole bunch of neat things coming up. You can probably see in the back that hood. I don't remember if I mentioned that to y'all last week. That's going to be a sign for a shop, big wall hanger sign. I've also got these two sign panels, I guess you could say, here that I've got to get started on. Both of these are, I don't know what you want to call them. Some people call them brag boards, show boards for two different trucks, two different owners. Just so happens that they're coming up at the same time. Hopefully I can make progress on these this week. I don't have expectations of finishing them, but I do have expectations of finishing the hood sign that I showed you guys there. And then also that Carmen Gia that's coming in later this week. Those things right there are more than enough stuff on my plate for this week. So that's what we'll be doing this week, which is why I've kind of got to get back to work. I'm not really going to do anything for you guys this week as far as showing you guys anything or really talking about a whole lot, because I'm really kind of under the gun and behind. Got to get this stuff done as much as I can this week, because next week I have a huge job that's out of the studio here. It's on location at somebody's property. Fingers crossed nothing happens to that, because it's going to be a really cool deal. I'll take video and stuff of it. I probably won't check in with y'all next week like I've been doing with these. Probably skip a week, because I just can't imagine it being real easy to do that while I'm on location with that. But I'll shoot video footage of it and bring that to you guys afterwards. Should be really, really cool. Something a little different for me. Something I've always wanted to do. Until then, you know, y'all keep your brushes wet, keep drawing, whatever it is you guys do, keep creating, and check out one of these other videos, right? All right, see y'all later. Bye.